Hi, I'm Stéphane Godot, and I want to start by thanking Solas for the opportunity to share my perspective on composable application and EDA. Quick introduction. So to briefly introduce myself, I'm a principal architect at BCG Platinum, which is BCG's technical consulting entity. And in this entity, we focus on three key areas. We are delivering value-driven technology solutions for large-scale modernization. We design resilient cybersecurity strategies to safeguard operations, and we mitigate risks in strategic projects through expertise and efficient methodologies. So our priority is to help our clients to handle the unexpected. Declining globalization driven by geopolitical tensions has reduced trade and interconnection. Sustainability has become essential for security funding, for staying competitive. Meanwhile, digital transformation demands rapid adaptation to technological changes, and the labor changes and shortages heighten the competition for talent. So in this VUCA, V as volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, resilience and security in assets, in people, in data, and in supply chains are crucial. So in this context, the concept of composable business based on modular, adaptable, flexible components offer the required agility and differentiation, the required agility and differentiation that is needed by your world today. And this approach integrates seamlessly with ecosystems, enabling rapid innovation and tailored solutions while supporting the sustainability, and all of this for a greater resilience. So let's speak about the foundational principles of composability for modern architecture. And first of all, the principle itself. So the concept of composability is not new. In 2020, Gartner formalized it under the name of PBCs as a package business capabilities. PBCs are building blocks of applications, either purchased or developed internally. And these PBCs, they are delivering a specific business function. Technically, PBC is designed to be easily integrated with other PBCs and systems via API or events. And these PBCs, they enable the use of sophisticated business functionalities without requiring expertise in data integration, predictive analysis, or digital twins. So these PBCs, they are versatile, they are portable, they are interoperable, and so they can serve as this plugin which is required by large enterprises systems, and that can be combined to compose this composable application. So in this context, traditional buy versus build decisions are now evolving towards buy and compose. The package integration application models of the 2000 years involved integrated package application delivered on a project mode. This model allowed for some standardization and integration, but it was limited in terms of flexibility and rapid adaptability to market changes. Then we had the application and service mesh of the 2010s, which introduced a more flexible project delivery model based on microservices. So this model has enabled better modularity and scalability, and it has made easier to integrate and ensure interoperability between different services. But today, the current model can compose applications we have what is called ICPs, which stands for Industry Cloud Platforms. So ICPs are cloud platform solutions designed to address a specific challenge requirements for certain industries by offering, for example, predefined regulatory compliance and optimization for sector-specific operations. So, according to Gartner, 70% of business will use ICPs by 2027, which is a real acceleration compared to the number of 2023, which was only 15%. So now we'll speak a bit about architecture. So, of course, when you speak about composable model, composable application, you are always referring to MAC architecture principles. MAC has microservices, API first, cloud native, and headless. Microservices break down monolithic applications into smaller, decoupled services with service mesh that enable to ensure seamless service-to-service communications, security, reliability. API first provides seamless and reliable communication between services and systems and facilitates integrations and future extensibility. Cloud native leverage the power of cloud for resilience, efficiency, and on-demand scalability, which gives the ability to grow the infrastructure. And finally, headless architecture decouples the front end from the back end, allowing to update and innovate each layer independently, providing greater agility and better customer experiences. So each of these principles contributes uniquely to promoting modularity, scalability, and flexibility, which are the main expectation for composable application. Let's go on the next slide if you wish to switch. So today, API managed integration is a very, very commonly used pattern. This approach ensures controlled and efficient connectivity between applications and backend systems. Event-based integration introduces an additional layer of decoupling by leveraging messaging principles such as publish subscribe. This allows application, IoT devices, and other systems to communicate asynchronously. And this reduces dependencies and enables greater scalability. Event stream integration is built on this by focusing on real-time processing and by focusing on the analytics of the event streams themselves. So it enables organization to react dynamically to event patterns and to support advanced use cases such as predictive analytics, such as real-time decision-making. So these new patterns, or new compared to API integration, reflect a progressive shift towards more decoupled and responsive architectures, aligning with the demands of modern, event-driven business environments. So finally, the original data-centric approach of microservices ensures security and integrity, but limit the speed and the flexibility of data sharing between the different services. With, let's say, database command type interactions being the norm. So decoupling and real-time responsiveness drive agility, and microservices as event producers are moving away from this traditional data-centric microservices approach. designing microservices as producers and consumers of data events help to abstract the flexible data processing, and so is better suited to this composable model I'm speaking about. So this transition from MAC to EDA will enable the organization to achieve their objective of flexibility, of responsiveness, and resilience. We are speaking about EDA, but another interesting concept is the data mesh. So the data mesh concept, which was proposed initially by Zhamak Dehghani, is a decentralized approach to data architecture that treats the data as a product. And this data product is owned and managed by domain-specific teams. And they are not relying anymore, the enterprise are not relying anymore on centralized data lakes or data warehouses. This model focuses on empowering individual teams to produce and share their data in a standardized way, in an interoperable way, through a federated governance model, and the ability to have a self-service data infrastructure. And in this context of data mesh, EDA comes as an enhancement that enables real-time for the decentralized data flow across the domains. So this enables to create seamless communication between data products, which dynamically adapt to events, providing timely insight. It ensures also the domain autonomy while maintaining connectivity, and it breaks silos without compromise. And we can now speak about new architecture, such as, I've not shown you 10 years ago, Kappa architecture will enable to handle high event volumes, ensuring scalability and efficiency for a responsive data ecosystem. In this context, Event Mesh enables the distributed infrastructure to facilitate the real-time distribution of events across various applications, across cloud services, and it also enables their asynchronous communication. So an event mesh is created and activated through a network of interconnected event brokers. It serves as a configurable and dynamic infrastructure layer to distribute events among composable applications. The event mesh dynamically route events to any of these applications, regardless of their deployment location, whether it's cloud, it's on-premise, and it acts as a dynamic and interconnected web of events that enables a more agile, a more responsive data infrastructure directly usable by this composable application. So Event Mesh is a pillar of a more global concept I will name Composable Mesh. This architectural framework enables seamless integration and dynamic composition of services and data by transforming rigid architecture into agile ecosystems that are now capable of adapting to changing market demands. Within this composable mesh concept, there is also the data mesh, and the data mesh distributed approach ensures a more effective data governance while fostering innovation and accelerating time to market. The service mesh complements both event mesh and data mesh by managing and securing service-to-service communication, enhancing observability, and ensuring greater resilience. And finally, to realize this composable mesh vision, we have the ability to adhere to well-defined standards and also to use the ICPs I was speaking previously about, the industry-specific cloud providers, to tailor solutions that address the unique needs of each sector. Let's speak about the core technology enablers. So there are many enablers on a technological perspective. The cloud, the AI, the cybersecurity, but I will focus on data. So considering data, companies are increasingly data-driven today. They are in order to be data-driven, they require a unified data platform for storing, for processing, for analyzing, and serving structured and unstructured data across analytical and operational workloads. And more, they need data streaming platforms with a shift left for continuous real-time pipelines and event streaming platform that enable the discrete event distribution to trigger workflow. And in order to do this, they propose multiple kind of components from the source to ingestion with, for example, the ability to use change data capture tools and to stream events as raw logs into the platform. They propose ingestion and processing components. For example, the ingestion of raw data into Kafka logs and then the categorization into raw, silver, and gold layers. And of course, they also propose consumption layer in order to tailor our application with AI and BI and all these kind of features. And the backbone of such platform lies, of course, in their architecture, but also in the technologies that drive event management, and specifically event brokers. So the choice of the broker itself, whether it's queue-oriented, log-based, or subscription-based, should be tailored to each use case. For example, you will choose a queue-oriented broker when you need multiple protocol client connectivity and a flexible topic structure. And if you don't require message retention or replay. On the other side, you will choose a log-oriented broker when you need to retain a long-term message, and you need to replay, or when you need a very high throughput. And then you might also consider a subscription-based broker, which is an excellent option for building cloud-native event-driven application within the cloud provider environment. And especially if you are ready to design your solution around a non-ordered delivery model and just with an at least once guarantee. But so you have the platform, you have the backbone with the event broker, but what you also need in order to make this happen is a governance framework, and this governance framework has to consider the governance of events itself. So event governance in EDA is critical for effectively manage complex data flows and to ensure system robustness. So with the growing adoption of microservices and the growing adoption of distributed systems, maintaining the event quality and the traceability has become more and more critical. And we spoke about data mesh and the federated governance model. And so integrated federated governance with event-driven architecture in this composable framework is required to ensure the scalability, the agility, and the seamless cross-domain interoperability. So federated governance in this context provides the foundation by defining consistent standards for event schemas, metadata, security, and lifecycle management. And these mechanisms share guardrails that enable cross-team collaboration while ensuring the required compliance, the traceability, the interoperability of event streams of data and the data products. And all of this across multiple domains owned by multiple data teams. And so when combining the self-serve infrastructure, the teams gain access to the tools, they gain access to the pipeline, and they gain access to the resource, and they can work independently and build and manage event-driven components. So let's talk now about the event-driven implementation strategy we can think about for the composable architecture. First of all, implementation. When you say implementation, you think also about patterns. So there are multiple patterns to consider with composition model, and we can directly relate this pattern with existing event-driven pattern. For example, simple event processing, which enable to handle individual events simply and immediately. That could be related to a composition model based on atomic composition. So, for example, let's speak about order management. When a client places an order, an event such as order placed is triggered. So atomic composition is there to handle inventory, payment, or order shipment independently, but in some orchestrated way. There is, of course, the data stream processing, the DSP, which process event stream in real time, which enable continuous analysis. And this is related to the temporal composition. For example, a classic use case would be the bank fraud detection, which continuously monitor the banking transaction, and analyzing these streams can enable to identify abnormal behavior or fraud patterns in real time. And finally, there is the CEP, the complex event processing, which might be related to the fork join composition, and which is there to combine and correlate multiple events to detect complex patterns and trigger actions based on predefined rules. And the classical use case will be the supply chain management, with the ability to integrate events from shipment up to the potential delivery. So we have the patterns, but beyond the patterns, we also need some kind of a framework. And to implement EDA-driven strategy for composable architecture, what we need is a framework that enables iterative event and data product development cycles. These development cycles integrated with the composable architecture to achieve the modular, the scalable, and responsive systems we are targeting. And so by aligning, discovering, planning, and the execution phases, it enables continuous improvement through feedback loops, through feature prioritization, and event-driven prototyping. So key components in this framework will be the data product canvas, the event product catalog, which is there to guide the identification, the validation, and roadmap, prioritization of use case, ensuring agile product delivery. So this framework is there to promote collaboration, to leverage event-driven mechanism and customer insights, to enable this adaptive system evolution, and finally, the delivery of the shippable product. And so applying this concept of conceivable mesh and using this event-driven architecture, this data-driven platform, this framework of strategy, EDA strategy implementation, we are now in a situation where we can unlock transformative capabilities for modern business. First, if we talk about real-time responsiveness, I've got some numbers from public numbers from the internet. 46% of organizations using EDA reports significantly improved application responsiveness, making more agile in reacting to term market changes. Next, we have scalable modularity. And from what I read, this approach has led to a 37% reduction in operational cost for many companies. Moving on enhanced governance, what we've seen is that as improved compliance and interoperability, with 85% of organization reporting better management or distributed system, and all of this thanks to EDA. And finally, let's address the future-proofing strategies. As a result, companies have seen 48% faster time to market, enabling them to stay ahead in a market that is quite frequently changed. So all of these business improvements are achievable through the application of a composable mesh paradigm. So this composable mesh is not just an architectural evolution. There are architecture topics, of course, but also organizational one, technical one, and so on. And it redefines the foundation of modern enterprises, paving the way for a new era, let's say, rich with opportunities. And so this is, I think, a topic and a concept to clearly envision for the future for the enterprise that wish to remain at the forefront of innovation and adaptability in an ever-changing world.